and why I remain bearish on the equity markets is that the market has this understanding that as soon as he pauses, that's one step away from cutting rates. And I don't think that's the case. And again, Jerome Powell has said this till he's blue in the face, that he doesn't want to repeat the mistakes of Paul Volcker in the 80s, right? So to me, rates are not going down unless, like he said, unless we get inflation back in the bag. That's 2%. And I don't see that happening for at least a year or two even.
Gareth Soloway, the esteemed Chief Market Strategist at InTheMoneyStocks.com and president of VerifieDinvestingEducation.com, delves into the profound impact of his thesis on various assets, including Bitcoin, U.S. stocks, gold, silver, and regional banks. In the dynamic and ever-changing digital market landscape, Bitcoin, the leading cryptocurrency, finds itself grappling with turbulence. Despite its prominence and status as the guiding light for digital currencies, Bitcoin struggles to surpass the $30,000 threshold, presenting a challenging scenario. Bitcoin bears aim big after recent breakdown below $26,500. Bitcoin exhibits a downward movement, encountering resistance levels at $27,400 and $27,500. The price currently trades below the $26,500 mark and the 100-hourly simple moving average. On the Bitcoin hourly chart, a significant bearish trend line is taking shape, with resistance around $26,650. Although the potential recovery is possible, any upward momentum may face limitations beyond the $26,500 resistance level. Gareth highlights the absence of money printing as a factor that could contribute to Bitcoin's decline, projecting a range of $12,000 to $13,000, or even a significant drop to $9,000. Despite a 42% increase since January, Soloway cautions that Bitcoin remains entrenched in an overall downtrend, witnessing a substantial 65% decrease from its peak of $68,789.63 in November 2021.
When the banks began to fail and we saw Bitcoin really rocket to the upside. My issue with Bitcoin is that even when we had issues with some of the regionals where they were dropping 50% like 2 weeks ago, Bitcoin actually came down. And to me, that tells me Bitcoin doesn't know what it is yet. Is it a digital gold? Is it a risk asset? And so I'm in the camp that I think Bitcoin topped out at 30,500 recently, and I actually think we are going to head lower. I'm still in the camp that that we're probably not making, we haven't made the bottom in Bitcoin yet.
You've previously said that you do see Bitcoin dropping to 12 or 13,000, and if it drops through that support line, then it could go as low as 9,000 in 2023.
Yeah, so 2023, maybe into 2024, the 9,000 one. But I do think by year end, it's very possible we could see 12 to 13, or at least double bottom at 15.7.
What would take Bitcoin then?
That's going to be risk. It's going to be risk adjustment, meaning that de-risking in the system. Bitcoin is going through this crazy period where people are just gambling on these coins. And I've said this before, but I've never seen
other coins.
Yeah, on the other coins, but it's all the psychology of it, right? It's when people feel like they can gamble and they can just sell it to someone else higher, and they know deep down there's no utility. That is not a sign of a bottom in a market, like a Bitcoin bull market. It's a sign of a top. And so now if you expand that out and say, okay, Bitcoin is still a risk asset, well, what if the stock market does start to tumble? Where does Bitcoin go? And that's my thesis, is that we will hit a recession. The market doesn't think that the Fed won't come to the rescue. The market and investors are conditioned for now 10, 15 years. Every time there's a hiccup, the Fed prints money. I don't think they do it this time. And that is going to be a shock. It's going to revalue the stock market 20, 30% lower from here, and that will take Bitcoin back down. On our way down, there's a huge level around 23 to 24,000. If that breaks, you're headed to the 15,700 level, which is your double bottom. And then if that breaks, your next stopping point would be 12 to 13. So I'm very much a trader in that I look at the levels on the charts. And if one level breaks, if support breaks, the likely target is your next support line.
And if 12 breaks, 9?
Yeah, and to me, 9 is a very intriguing number, because the 10,000 will be max pain. And the markets, there's something about the markets and the psychology of the markets that it makes it so that the market wants to flush the most people out possible. And to me, where would that be? If you ever saw Bitcoin break 10, people would finally panic and throw up. Everyone says, oh, I'd buy $1 million, Bitcoin or whatever. That's nonsense. Panic would set in, and that's usually where bottoms are made.
Bitcoin is signaling this major move for the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. S&P up 10.74% despite warnings of steep decline. According to Google's report, the NASDAQ index has demonstrated strong performance over a 6-month period, boasting a remarkable 16.80% increase. During the U.S. session on Friday, May 19th, gold experienced a noteworthy recovery, with price action reflecting a positive rebound of plus 1%, ultimately closing at $1,977.90. However, it's important to note that gold remains positioned below its 20 and 50-day moving averages, which are currently acting as resistance levels around $2,008 and $1,991, respectively. Gareth maintains the belief that gold has the potential to make a significant move towards $2,300 by the end of the year. Additionally, he suggests the possibility of a double top formation in silver, with price levels ranging between $29 and $30. He predicts gold poised to be best performing asset in 2023.
We are seeing the NASDAQ rally and the S&P rally right now. But this is the amazing thing. This is where I get all giddy and excited because, yeah. So if you look historically, and this is what I do, right? It's looking historically at charts. When we topped out in 2021, Bitcoin topped out in November, right? 6 weeks later, the S&P and the NASDAQ topped out. If you go back to 2017, we topped out in December in Bitcoin, and about 4 to 6 weeks later, we topped out on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. And so what you're looking at here is, in my opinion, the NASDAQ and the S&P are rallying, but you're seeing that greed come in, where I think in just the last week, NVIDIA is up like 10, 15%, right? It's getting close to all-time highs. That, to me, is the final push-up, and ultimately, we're now at 4 weeks since Bitcoin topped. And so the idea is within 4 to 6 weeks, the S&P and NASDAQ should top, and now you're going to look for a flush.
Top previous all-time highs or just top?
No, just in this cycle. Just like Bitcoin.
Okay.
Bitcoin didn't get back to all times. It just got to 30,500. But same thing here. We should start to see the next leg down, both in crypto, which has started, the S&P 4 to 6 weeks later, which is right now to the next 2 weeks. Gold was due for a pullback. It hit that high from both 2022 and 2020, and that's known as a triple top in technical trading. And so you expect a pullback off of that. But for me, triple tops actually are the beginning stages of the next big breakout. And so I'm looking at this pullback in gold as a buying opportunity, and I do think within probably weeks, we could take out that high of around 2075 on gold, and I still have that year-end price target of 2300. Silver's pulled back quite a bit more than gold. In a weird way, that makes sense because it's also industrial, right? So you have silver where if we do head towards a recession, silver won't be as in demand, and so that portion is helping it pull back more. I still am long-term bullish on silver, very long-term bullish on gold, but that's why silver has pulled back. I think it's starting to get actually interesting to nibble on down here. I dabble in Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's all I'm willing to, because again, it's about quantifying risk. As an investor, as a trader, I have to be able to quantify risk, and I don't, with the government being shady on this, I just can't do that.
And what's your position on Ethereum right now?
I think Ethereum is interesting. It's a little bit concerning to see the gas fees and spiking as much as they have, because it makes it very expensive to use, I should say. But I think ultimately it's here to stay, and I'm okay in investing in something like that. I prefer to leave Bitcoin as the digital gold. Like I would say that if we want it to survive and thrive, it needs to keep that. There's plenty of other coins that have utility, and we can see that. But for me, it's like, keep it as it is. It's pure right now. Once you start getting in meddling in it, I think that's a negative.
Gold is expected to perform better than stocks and cryptocurrencies in 2023 as the Federal Reserve becomes less strict in its tightening cycle. The year 2023 heralded an 80% rally for Bitcoin, a promising start. Yet it failed to cross the anticipated $30,000 benchmark. What are your thoughts on Gareth Soloway's predictions for gold and cryptocurrencies in 2023? Do you agree or disagree with his outlook, and why? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay informed on the latest news and videos. Thank you for watching.